All right, one of the most common interview questions you're sure to get on probably every interview you go into is tell me about yourself. It's probably the first question out of the interviewer's mouth. They want to learn about you. It's such a simple and easy question that many job seekers completely overlook it. They don't practice for it and they just wing it. And I promise you that a lot of those folks are messing up this answer here. It's really, really simple, but it's really, really important. It's going to set the tone for the rest of the interview. And if you do it right, it's going to differentiate you from other candidates in the room. So let's walk through how to answer, tell me about yourself. The first thing is, this is not your whole life story. This is a movie trailer of you. It's a 60-second movie trailer that just gives them the high points of who you are, what you're doing, and where you want to go. And just like a good movie trailer, it's going to pique their interest. It's going to want them to lean in and learn more about you without giving the whole movie away yet. You've got plenty of time in the interview to really dive into each piece of your background and your experience and what you're doing and where you're going. But in this answer, we just want to tease it like a movie trailer. So keep this in mind when you're answering this question. Number one is reference the job that you're interviewing for, your knowledge of that role, your experience, reference your character traits, your interest, especially your interest. But again, just reference it, right? You've got 60 seconds to nail this answer. We're not going to go into so much detail here. We're just hinting at the highlights. Do not, under any circumstance, start reading through your resume. Your goal here, again, is just to pique their interest. Just tease at a couple pieces, mention some of the highlights that are going to get them to lean in more. You really do not need to go through your whole roles. If anything, maybe mention one role if it's relevant. And this is the most important thing here. I've mentioned it already a couple times, but keep this answer to 60 seconds. I promise you, anything more than that, the interviewer is tuning out. They're not listening. They're going to forget what you said at the beginning of your interview answer there if it runs too long here. So practice this. This is one I would write down verbatim, practice out loud, time myself, make sure it's around that 60-second mark. All right, so let's dive in. How do we actually answer this? Now, the way that I answer this question, and I've seen this work many, many times, so I'd encourage you to follow a similar format to this, is break this answer down into past, present, future. Again, past, present, future. So past is, who are you? Where are you from? Give me anything kind of noteworthy about you, your passions, hobbies, experiences. Present is, what are you doing now? Why are we in the room? Why are we talking? What role are you looking for? Tell me about who you are right now and what are you doing here? And then future is, where do you want to go long term? How are you going to get there? What are your goals? What are your aspirations? I think this is really important here, and not enough people talk about this because it sets the stage for who are you as a person, right? What are you dreaming of? What are you aiming for long term? That's going to tell me about the type of person you are right now. So again, past, present, future. This is a 60-second answer. I'd probably spend about 15 seconds on past. I'd spend about 30 seconds on the present and about 15 seconds on the future. So let's break this down. I'm going to read through a couple examples here, and feel free to use this outline. I think it's a really strong one for when you're answering this question. Okay, this is an example answer for somebody who has probably no or little to no work experience. So if you're coming right out of college and you are interviewing for this role, it might sound something like this. And again, whenever I write these out, I am going to take the script and then make it my own. So I'm going to paraphrase here a little bit. I'm probably going to go off script a little bit, and that's how you should do it too. The script isn't something that you memorize and read verbatim. It's a script that you're going to personalize and bring to life when you give this answer. So here we go. If I sat down in the interview room and they said, "Hey, Mitch, tell us a little bit about yourself," this is what I'd say. Awesome. So my name is Mitch. I grew up in North Carolina, born and raised, attended the University of North Carolina, where I was a business major and co-captain of the men's varsity swim team. And I swam competitively growing up for about 15 years, and it really shaped who I am today as, both a competitor, team player, as someone that's really just always trying to improve. And I've always loved New York, so I decided to move up here right after graduation, start my career as a sales professional. And from what I know about sales, it really seems to fit in with my personality, my competitiveness, my drive, really, really well, which is why I'm looking for a sales role at a fast-growing tech startup. And I'm really just looking to join a company where I can hone my sales skills, make an impact in the org, learn and grow as the company grows. Because one day down the line, I'd love to be leading teams my own, leading teams as a sales leader, but also possibly even entrepreneur and starting my own company one day. Boom, that was 61 seconds. I just timed myself. So 61 seconds, past, present, future. And now they know a little bit about me. They know that I was a business major. They know that I swam growing up. They might want to dig into that. They know that, I just moved to New York. That's kind of a cool, interesting piece. They know that, what I'm looking for is a fast growing company where I can make an impact and hone my skills. And that's enough, right? We're going to go into all of this in a lot more detail here in a bit. But for now, I'm just teasing the highlights. So another example answer here, if I did have some previous work experience. So in this, I'm probably going to tease a little bit more about some of my previous experience and lean into that a little bit heavier. I would start off with, yep, my name's Mitch. I grew up in North Carolina where I swam competitively for over 15 years growing up and attended college at the University of North Carolina. I was a business major there and co-captain of the men's varsity swim team. After graduating, I moved to New York where I took a sales role at a technology company for 2 years and really, really loved that. Great experience. I learned a lot there about the fundamentals of sales. And then I moved to San Francisco where I took an enterprise sales role at a much larger company. And that was really cool. I've been a top performer at that company for the past 4 years, and I've just learned so much about how that company operates and about how to sell multi-million-dollar deals. But now I'm at a point in my career where I really want to take my skills to the next level, and I want to continue to develop as a leader. I see myself leading teams of people in the future. So I'm looking to join a company where I can contribute my sales skills, of course, and make an impact, but then grow as a leader in that org, move up the ranks, leading teams of people so that I can continue to develop those skills. Boom. Again, 60 seconds, past, present, future. And in this case, because I have some previous experience, I'm going to lean a little bit heavier into that. I'm going to talk about some of the metrics, some of the results I've seen as I've kind of moved up the ranks over the years. And I'm going to talk about where do I want to go in my future. So a little bit less emphasis on my past and younger version of myself, a little bit more emphasis on my present and what I'm doing, and a lot of emphasis on my future. Where do I want to go?